This reading is for Virgo for the month of September 2021. And happy birthday, Virgos. Many of you are going to be celebrating good times. And if your birthday falls on September 6th, then you'll have double luck because that's a new moon in your sign. So I was looking at your chart and what's going on, and it seems like there's a message this month about making a small sacrifice to bring in a better and bigger change in your life. So you might just want to take an inventory and think about maybe something that you want to let go of, or something that you could do that, you know, that one thing that would have a ripple effect out into your whole life, right? It can be as small as something like deciding to ride your bike to work. Well, that would have multiple benefits, right? That would save you money. It would help your health, help you, you know, get in shape. Or it could be something bigger than that. But in any case, just think about that and see what resonates with you. So first, I want to look at what is supporting you this month. Ooh, that's a crazy card. A crazy looking card. It's not that crazy. So one of the things that would really support you this month would be to really take a look at your anxiety level and try and work on it. Oftentimes this energy just really, it's sort of, we go to worst case scenario thinking. And this month, if you were to work on some positive mental shift for yourself, that would help a lot in terms of anxiety. Or you know, whatever paradigms you believe in terms of how to not worry so much. And they're specifically saying some of you are just really worrying over and over and over about job and career and security. That is definitely very important in life, but this is saying sometimes you need to be able to just table it. So that is what would support you this month. And what might be a challenge this month is working with somebody either in terms of, you know, a career or a job, or oftentimes this is dating someone who really has issues with commitment. So one of the things that some of you may be dealing with this month, and this does not have to be romantic, but it can be, is somebody who needs, you need them to commit to something that you are working on together, whether that is a project or a relationship or just an aspect, if you're in a long-term relationship, an aspect of your relationship that you feel the other person just isn't committing to. So that's what they're showing me this month for what may be a challenge, is really needing someone else to commit with you to something. And for a minority of you, this is actually you looking at yourself about how you commit to things. But you being a Virgo, and sort of what I'm reading into, it's more needing to work with someone on some level that needs to, you know, up their commitment level. Okay, now let's just see sort of the card that wants to talk about love. This is interesting. This is an interesting card when it comes to relationship. This very much sometimes is the grass is always greener card. So this is not for everyone, of course, because this is a general reading for all Virgos, but either you or someone you are with, for many of you, these are possible other relationships. And sometimes, even if we are in a relationship that's good, we're always wondering if there's something better out there. And you could be with somebody who has this kind of thinking. Maybe you're with someone who likes to get a lot of attention. Maybe you're hanging out with them and it's not comfortable because they sort of just want to be wanted. So this is a card that I pulled up for Virgos for love this month for many of you. And it really is about being grateful for what we have and not wishing that things were different or comparing ourselves. Sometimes you're comparing yourself to another relationship when that's not really helping. And if you are seeing a relationship that you would like more than your own, maybe you can do some work in your own yard rather than looking into someone else's. But this is also a wake-up call for some of you. Like, are you with somebody who really should be focusing more on you rather than looking around? So that's a message for some of you, and this will resonate with you if you are in that situation. So it's just something to think about. Okay, now let's see. I'm going to put out a big spread and just see what I capture for Virgos for September. Oh, fascinating. I just really shuffled those cards and I pulled two of the same cards. So, but this has a very different meaning. So we'll get to that in a moment. But it is the core, wow. It is the core energy of this reading. It is the Three of Pentacles being crossed by the Seven of Cups. What that says to me is that many of you may be in a job and you just are not feeling satisfied, and you are having a lot of other plans of what you would rather be doing. This can be great. I mean, this is not a negative. Where it could move into some negativity is if you actually realize that you're not satisfied. You're daydreaming. This is very much about daydreaming about what you would rather be doing, but you actually don't take any steps to create that. So that's the pitfall with this energy sometimes, is that people get paralyzed by all the options in their mind, and they're afraid if they choose one path, it's going to necessarily make all the other paths go away. Well, that's not really the truth. It may take up time, but if you do follow a new path and you don't like it, you can always change your mind and go to that path. But I think that what this is saying, that if there are some Virgos out there that are really not feeling satisfied when their career path, you know, it isn't like a waste of time to really research and maybe come up with some new ideas of what you want to do, but then you'd have to move on them. But that's right in the middle of this reading. Wow. Okay. Ooh, interesting. So remember, Virgo, how I mentioned right at the beginning of this reading that one of the astrological themes for you in September is to make one small sacrifice for a much greater good in your life? Well, that is actually also your outcome card. Your outcome today is the Hanged Man. And this is a time period that oftentimes, and especially when I look at this combination of what I was just talking about, this is when our perspective starts changing on ourselves and our life. You may look the same, you may be doing the same things every day, but inside there's a revolution happening. And I know with people, when something starts changing on the inside, and that's daydreaming, thinking, wanting things to be different, it necessarily down the road manifests on the outside. And so, but with the Hanged Man, oftentimes, because there's new ideas coming in, because you feel like you're changing, oftentimes you do have to sacrifice something that's old to bring in something new. And that is your outcome this month. Now, we also have this amazing energy up here. This is a message from your guides. This is very much about things moving very swiftly. So what I would say is, like, let's say you are considering a new venture. This says if you put energy into it, it may move faster than you even expect, right? You're almost taken aback because you had the idea, you made the move, and bam, things are moving. That's awesome. One of the sort of mantras that go along with this card is be careful what you wish for, you just might get it. And like, I'm sorry, I don't think that's a bad thing. But there is a get ready because you just might get it. Whatever it is that you've been daydreaming about, if you move towards it, it may happen. And this can be in anything this month. This can be in love. This can be in career. So don't be afraid. If you feel ready, to go for it, because with this energy, see that lightning bolt? It's like kabam, all right, yeah, let's go. But one of the things about this is just be careful, because you may just want to try something out and you end up having to be really committed. And remember, that was one of the challenges this month, was about commitment. Many of you, I'm looking over in your relationship sector now, and there is an ace here. When we have aces, aces are very powerful, and the Ace of Swords has a energy about it that's very direct. It's very much about being proactive. It's very much about decision making. So this month in love, Virgos, it's going to be really important to, and you may just actually feel compelled, especially with this energy, to state your truth, make the first move, make a final split if you've been thinking about that. It's a very strong energy, and because it's an ace, it ushers in new potential for you. This card comes up again, and this time it's next to your relationship. Try not to let anxiety or fear stop you from communicating your truth to another person. All right. So we have a Pisces full moon on the 22nd, and right around that time, you also have the moon in your reading. This is going to be a very emotional time for you, and I would say, I think around the 20th, it would be great to just make sure you're with trusted friends or lovers, and to not really overexpose yourself if you don't have to, because around, when I'm looking at this reading, this is around the time of the full moon in Pisces, and you have the moon. So that means you could have some things bubbling up, that you're just dealing with, and that's not bad, but just take care. And then just to wrap this up, we have this amazing, grand trine and air happening at the end of the month around the 26th. That is generally considered a good omen. So there's a little sprinkle of stardust, but then bam, the next day we go into Mercury in retrograde. So I would say anything that you're thinking of signing, any changes you're planning on making, I would do that before the end of the month. Now, that's just the last couple of days of September. When we get to October, most of that month is going to be under Mercury retrograde. So you're pretty clear this whole month until the 27th for progress and forward movement. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I will be checking back in with you in October. And if you enjoyed this, please subscribe to my channel and give me a thumbs up. Bye.